right, well, we'll start off here on the north side, spawning in our random player, spawning in this time as our red Aeon commander. It is C.Deher, and he has started off with a quick 2-factory air build. Nite, what's going on the other side of the map?
Other side of the map, spawning as Aeon as well, we have our player from Russia spawning in blue. He is Osmos, opening up with a double air factory opening. And it looks like he already picked off a scout, so he's in good shape.
Yeah, definitely. He started off just with the one air and added that second one on a little bit later, I think. He was spending a little more time assisting, so he's got a nice fair few planes out. Meanwhile, C.Deher is expanding like crazy right now.
Yeah, it seems like the meta is like shifting towards air play on this map. I don't know. I still feel like it's not great. I think a land push will always defeat an air opening on this map. A double air opening at the very least.
Well, in any event, I think it's all been air today, hasn't it?
Has
Pretty
not on
much.
all maps.
No, on this map.
Oh yeah, I mean, but this is only like the second one we're casting here, right?
True. I'm a little surprised, though, that both players have gone for the what used to be the starting 4 mass extractors up on the ledge there. I
Well,
suppose maybe those are...
I think you can when you're have double air, from both players. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, oh, I was thinking maybe it's just easier to defend when you've opened air, because everything's a little bit closer together.
Actually, I'm gonna walk back on what I just said because it's kind of easier to push on land and set up what Osmos is setting up, and then just start MMLing that. Yeah, C.Deher is already in trouble here.
Yeah, a number of his buildings are going to be in range of that factory TML too.
Yeah. A lot of his stuff is. I think all 6 of those mass points are in range.
And I think this is the thing to do. What Osmos is doing here is if you have opened air, or even if you didn't open air, but the opponent did, moving forward and getting like kind of an island of anti-air somewhere near the front
Yeah.
can be very effective.
Yeah, I actually kind of agree. Yeah, open up air, force your opponent to maybe make some anti-air defenses at best. And then if it's all land, I mean, the problem is what happens when it's like a triple land factory opening. Like, what do you do against that? I guess you just try and take out the engineers. That's a smart play, and just
Yeah,
play for that middle game defensively. Yeah, I guess that could work. But then your opponent can like push up and set up the same thing that you're doing, and try to take out your expansions. So I feel like it's a slower, like if that happens, it's definitely gonna go into like the 20-minute game, unless somebody messes
right.
up.
For a second, I thought this point defense was an anti-air tower, and I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah,
somebody fucked up."
but I think actually, no, I don't think it's gonna go down anytime soon. Yeah, this is definitely the way to go in this case. But again, it's a double air versus double air. Then absolutely, whoever pushes up first and sets up this base it's gonna win. We saw this in Vanity match. Now we're seeing it in this match here as well.
That factory shield is putting in a lot of work, though. Nice
Yeah.
bombing run there.
He loses a lot of air here. But yeah, it just looks easy right now, doesn't it, from Osmos?
Well, and point defense, easy mode.
I would be very interested to see like equally skilled players like maybe Osmos and Vanity playing in this map and opening up the same way they did here with double air, and see what they do different. Like, will Vanity like try to counter punch the ACU with his ACU? And I feel like it just becomes like a PD war at that point. I feel like that would be very interesting to see. I mean, during the anniversary tournament, we saw some crazy cool play from Nuclear on this map. Hey, Akon, how's
Well,
it going?
nuclear is always doing interesting things.
Um, I feel like when they started out playing earlier this year, Nuclear was kind of very meh, but he was playing a lot of like Aeon and very standard stuff. But because we had like a crazy prize pool for the anniversary tournament, I think he just came up with a build or two that were pretty good. But yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what you do, though. When you're shaking off the rust, you play
yeah,
standard.
absolutely. I mean,
And
I
then
just
when the
play
money's
Aeon.
on the line, you put in the practice.
I haven't been playing like at all except for like um, during league matches, as C.Deher's air just gets obliterated here. And I just play Aeon, and I feel bad about it because Aeon is just a easy faction, but you gotta do what
Actually,
you gotta do.
I don't think he came off too bad on that air engagement. Actually,
Oh yeah, you're right. Somehow he has more air than Osmos. What the heck?
he has built a third air factory, but it hasn't been there very long, and yeah, it doesn't even look like it's producing right now.
But again, I think the meta of this game is air is nice, but in a close matchup, air is just not gonna win you the game. It's more people use it to just keep the other opponent's air off. And yeah, if your opponent does nothing to deal with your air, you can snowball into a lot of things, but a good player will always deal with air in some way or another. So I guess this comment was more towards Fortuna's build. C.Deher actually tried to counter on the land, but it was just a little too late.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think Fortuna should have won that match. Vanity just didn't. Instead of that air factory, it should have 100% been a land factory.
Well, looks like C.Deher is performing the walk of shame here,
Yeah, he does have ACU range.
or maybe not.
Well, if C.Deher manages to win the air here, nah.
He's not going to win over that much AA.
No, one more bombing run should actually probably not. Interesting.
Ooh, he had a good engagement, and then he just kept chasing right over the AA.
Yeah. Alright guys, well that's a quick and easy game from Osmos, I think. C.Deher honestly didn't play bad, but the counter to the land push was just a little late. I really like the ACU range there. But yeah, 1-0 to Osmos. We're going to take a little break. I'm going to try and fix this audio stuff I keep having. Hopefully you heard me better. Please let me know if I sound better and if you can hear me from both sides of your earphones or speakers. And we'll be right back in just a moment.
Welcome back, everybody, to round 3 of the Serpent's Open November. This is Spiff joining Nite of Misfortune to bring you this game on QAI Labs. And Nite, why don't you go ahead and fill us in on the first player introduction?
Starting on the left-hand side with our blue Aeon Commander, he is up 1-0. It is Osmos opening up with a 1 air factory. So we're just going to get an idea of what his opponent is doing. Speaking of which, what is his opponent doing?
All right, a little point of view for us as we follow Osmos' scout into the base of our white Aeon Commander, playing random, but once again pulling Aeon, it is C.Deher. who has once again opened up with a double air factory, and it looks like did manage to snipe that scout.
Yeah, very nicely done. Now he's in a lead, especially with that double air production. We'll really like to see if he goes forward with his air and just starts doing some damage. Meanwhile, Osmos' counter is going to be to push forward and likely set up some land and push before C.Deher can set up defenses of his own.
It is a little tricky to find good bombing spots on this map because it's easy to cover most or all of these mass points with anti-air.
Yeah.
So it's a little tough, I think, if you open up double air, you win air. Okay, what now? There's not a whole lot of outlying engineers to pick off and stuff.
Yeah, honestly, I never really open up with double air, but even when I play, there were some games where I played where I open up with one air and the other player is opening up with double air, and then I end up going double air. But then you win air, and then nothing really happens because there's anti-air, and you can't do quite enough damage. So the games on this map especially are won on land, I think, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a double air opening in your repertoire for a map like this. It's just a little harder to take advantage of.
Yeah. And Petit is a little late on his mass points, I think. Although air openings like this are tough to get. Yeah, meanwhile Osmos is just setting up air death traps here. Gonna be very hard to deal with. Let's see what Petit is gonna do here. He's gonna try and bomb the mass extractor. I agree, he needs to really do something and utilize his air advantage. That's what I've been saying to everybody.
I
Even
like the
though,
micro though.
yeah, very nicely done.
He's bombing and immediately pulling back to keep out of AA range, and oh, we're gonna get an engagement here though.
Yeah, what? I was gonna say if he engages there, I don't necessarily dislike it, but he ends up flying through like every bit of anti-air and in front of Osmos's planes, so that ends up being terrible. I think you jinxed him, Spiff.
Well, he's also shut off his air factories back home, so he's not getting anything to replace what he's lost here. And that land factory just now starting to produce, so he's going to be behind on the land battle as well. Fortunately for him, Osmos has not yet produced a single land unit that shoots down,
Yeah,
unless
that's
you
good
count
for
that
him.
point defense.
And I would have loved to see that first unit to be a mobile missile launcher, but what is he doing? No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Capture on that point defense would have been nice before his commander lost too much health, but he missed his opportunity for that. Second point defense is going to make it very difficult for him to even hold on to this factory.
Yeah. And that
Mobile
bombing
missile
run was
launcher,
just very bad.
mobile missile launcher rolling out for C.Deher, but we've got a few moving forward for Osmos as well. Nice control K on the factory at least.
Yeah, but the issue here is you have nothing to fall back on. Oh, and Osmos is going to be super mean and build right over that wreck. Wow.
Yeah, building on Rex does kind of give a whole new meaning to all your base are belong to us.
Yeah. Typical Aeon things, huh? You know, I feel like Petit has decent micro and decent build orders. I feel like he just falls a little flat because he doesn't believe quite in himself. I mean, obviously Osmos is a great player, and I would be very surprised if Petit would beat him. But you know, I feel like he definitely has the potential to do better. I feel like these were two very straightforward games when really there wasn't too much of a indication for it.
Well, I think this just shows the inherent riskiness of a two-air opening.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, that's what C.Deher did both games, and both games he got punished for it.
Osmos is saying Desolation is the best modded map from the map pool. Um, mm, no, for me it's Emerald Crater, then it's Tourney, and then it's Desolation. I think Desolation is gonna boil down to if he does A, then I do B, but if he does B, then I do A type of thing. And it's just gonna be 2 build orders. Whereas I feel like on Tourney Dome and on Emerald Crater, it's a little different than that. Maybe in the map pool. Like, I could see how some people don't like Emerald. But I don't think it's better than Tourney Dome, which is not in the map pool. You're right, but...
A research station going down in the back of C.Deher's base.
How do we feel about that,
Probably.
Spiff?
It's not going to pay for itself by the time the game ends.
No. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, there's sometimes we just know the game is over. And there isn't much to say. I think Spiff is just a little nicer about how he commentates on things. Where I would be, not even I would say, oh, that research station sucks right now. But Spiff is like, a research station.
So, what, you're Pig and I'm Loco?
Yeah, I guess. I'm not very familiar with those two casters, but...
Well, nah.
Have you been watching a lot of StarCraft recently?
Yeah, a little bit here and there.
Yeah, I used to watch, like, a lot.
Mostly the fun games like the Florencio files, stuff like that.
Yeah, I just watch the ESL stuff. But there's a lot of it now. I am really excited to see how the players transition into playing in person, because everything so far obviously has been online, but the Katowice tournament, which is basically the world final for StarCraft, is going to be the first tournament that's in person. So like I feel like that's going to be a massive shift, and I feel like somebody who we haven't seen win is going to win. Because everybody's just going to be so freaked out about playing in person. Well, not freaked out, but it's going to be a different feeling.
Yeah, well, maybe Supreme Commander should have its own convention, like BlizzCon, except it could be, I don't know, SupCon 2.
SupCon 2. Alright, host it up, Spiff. You know, I would.
People would be like, "What happened to SupCon 1?" I'd be like, "I don't know."
I would have loved to have the Invitational be an in-person thing, but the community is just not there, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, we're so spread out, it wouldn't be too feasible.
Yeah.
Also, where would it be? Would you have everyone to your place?
No, I mean I would just rent the space
for a
somewhere.
LAN party?
I would just look, yeah, like for a convention center somewhere in the Northeast, probably. Or maybe
you guys heard it here. You guys heard it here. Party at Nites.
Party at night. Come and find me. Oh boy. All right, guys. Well, this was a straightforward game for Osmos, and a 2-0 win. Osmos, I think, is actually looking good because he tied with Polar. And what was his first round? He won against Mog and Ross, so He's looking very good. He might actually win this tournament, but of course Osmos has already qualified for the season final, but the points are never bad, because actually an important point is that him and Hope are very close to qualifying from points alone, and for the invitational. So every little bit of points help, and Hope isn't even playing this tournament, so it might actually end up being a big deal for Osmos, and we'll see how that of course plays out. But for now, we're going to take a little break, and we're going to go to round 4 here in a short moment. If you're still watching, give a thumbs up to this video. If you liked the video, leave a comment. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you are blown away by it, check out my Patreon page. This has been Nite. Take care and peace out.